Killing number 11 wasn't just a game of patience and opportunity. After 10 years of owning this farm, I know the importance of quality food that will sustain the herd for the entire year. Since I enrolled 70 acres of my farm in CRP, I strategically plant 4 food plots that make sense for wind direction and closest cover. This way, all I have to worry about is maintaining the clover, alfalfa, and planting new annual fields each year. Like the grains, I put the greens closest to the thick cover, hidden in smaller fields that make sense for the deer movement and the predominant winds.
Jason's farm has that hard-to-find balance. It's 330 acres, 175 in tillable for cash rent, with 95 acres of timber and 60 acres of warm season grasses that create ideal bedding cover and fawning habitat. Top it all off with several water holes throughout the farm, and you have everything it takes to maintain a well-balanced herd.
Jason's first step for the year was to frost seed in late February. This food plot is located in a smaller, secluded field. Then in May, Jason sprays for weeds so the revitalized clover receives a healthy dose of fertilizer and weed killer. After that, the only thing left to do is mow once or twice depending on rainfall.
This year, Jason wanted to try something a little different, so he planted a hidden grain field in the middle of the farm where the deer would feel the safest. He decided on this field here because it would be great to hunt with a north wind, and if the beans didn't take, it would double as a tall tine tuber plot. You know, the eagle beans grew, but the deer literally annihilated every plant before it even had a chance, and this is a sure sign of high deer numbers.
I've learned the hard way. The deer numbers in my area are extremely high. And when I've tried to plant beans in the past, the deer have come in the late summer and smoked the entire field. So this year, I put up 2 hot wires around my bean fields. It really keeps the deer out during the late summer when it's the preferred forage for them, in hopes that we can have some standing beans when the snow flies and they want to bunch up for that high energy and protein food source.
So the work began a second time in under a month, only this time most of the work was done since all the chemicals had already been spread and soaked in. The beans were wasted, but most of the fertilizers and neutralizers were useful, and all he had to do is get the seed in the ground and hope for a little rain by August.
The last thing to prepare for was the late season. Jason asked the farmer to leave in a couple acres of corn and a few acres of beans. Again, the most important part of picking out the perfect ambush location is all about getting as close to their bedding areas as possible while concealing your presence.
Jason ended up killing number 11 after checking his reconics the day before the season started. To his surprise, number 11 had finally shown up during daylight for the first time since the first week in November, and this told Jason exactly where he needed to be.